Welcome to a special edition of the Mind Your Business podcast, the podcast that goes straight to the core of what drives entrepreneurial success. Now, I'm your host, Max Fortune, and I have over 30 years of experience building businesses and guiding others to do the same. So each week, what I try to do is explore the mindsets and the real life stories that distinguish thriving entrepreneurs, delivering the candid insights you need to actually elevate your business and to reach new heights. Now, if you've ever tuned in and received just one piece of advice from this podcast, then that's you to like, follow, and subscribe to the channel. Mind Your Biz Expert on YouTube or whatever platform you're watching or listening to this podcast on. It's just a little thing you can do that goes a long way. So make sure you continue to do that. Just pause the show right now and just do it. Like, follow, and subscribe. But today I want to talk about business credit and how to build business credit. And so before I jump into the business credit, I have a special guest here in the studio with me. His name is AJ. AJ is one of the salespeople here at GetBiz Credit, and that I'm actually mentoring into a six-figure salary. And AJ, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Good afternoon. It's AJ. I'm from New York. Let's see. I don't know, where do I start? I'm just excited for the opportunity. I don't know too much about business credit, but day one with this opportunity to be a mentoree, with my background, I'm excited to see what it has to offer.
So we've known each other for a while. I think it was very excited to kind of have you come on, and that you were interested in learning a lot about business credit. And it's an aspect that a lot of people don't know anything about. You have a strong sales background, and that's why I said I wanted to mentor you in this. And part of what my goal here in even doing this podcast and bringing AJ on is to really kind of document a little bit of his journey as he's learning about business credit and as he's making these large paychecks, doing these other things, closing sales. We're going to just kind of document his process through everything. And so that other people can see that it is possible to start. I mean, business credit is an amazing thing to know about business. Again, what we do here is talk to a lot of people about our audience is business owners, people who are looking to start, grow, or scale a business. And one of the things that's super, super important is business credit. People don't, there's a lot of people who we talk to, and I told you about this as you were coming on and we were going through the sales process.
Right.
And there's a lot of people who just don't know that they can establish credit in
like
the name
myself.
of their business. Yeah, and there's a lot of entrepreneurs. And so I want to kind of talk about how to build business credit today. So that's one of the things we're going to talk about. So you as an audience get to be privy to some of that information. And, with business credit, it really is one of the most valuable assets for any company. So whether you're a startup, small business, or wherever you are in that journey, if you're growing a business, establishing strong business credit, it opens the doors to funding, growth opportunities, and financial security. So, AJ, even with the people that you're started speaking to, or just let's talk about actually even you with learning about business credit, or you saying you didn't know anything about business credit in the beginning.
I didn't know enough.
Yeah. And that's actually a lot of business owners really struggle to really, the reason why it's important is a lot of business owners struggle to access the capital that they need.
Right.
And a lot of it is due to a lack of business capital or business credit. So it makes it hard to scale a business. And those are the things that we kind of talked about. So without strong business credit, it's really tough to grow a business today. I do want to talk about today. We have an interesting time that we're in today. We're really in that gig economy where a lot of people have a gig. And we're also seeing, unfortunately, some unstable things in the marketplace.
For sure.
So now is actually even more a better time than ever to get the business, stabilize your own personal success by building a business. And, one of the better ways to do that is to build it with business credit. So that's one of the things, is one of the reasons why you're here. The one big thing that I talk about is the riskiness that happens with building or using your personal credit. So one of the things that and I want to kind of talk about the difference between your business credit and personal credit, because I think we've talked about that a lot. And a lot of people don't realize that with personal credit, I always give people this example, that if you have personal credit, let's say you have a $10,000 credit card and you spend 30% of the moment you spend 30% of that limit, your credit score immediately starts to drop.
For sure.
So even though you have a $10,000 credit limit, you really only have $3,000 of it that you can use, or if you have a $5,000 credit card, you only have $1,500 of that you can use. So you really don't have a $5,000 credit. You got $3,000 that you can use. Now, conversely, on the business side, for one, the amounts are larger. So you get access, instead of getting $10,000, you're getting $25,000, $50,000 lines of credit or accounts that you can use, and you don't get penalized for using all of it if you need to use all of it. As long as your bill's paid every month, then that's all that matters. So you're not getting dinged with that. And the other benefit of having your business credit separate from your personal credit, if you're spending money on your business side, it is not affecting your credit score personally at all, like your personal credit is when you use it, So that is a key thing that I really like to make people aware of, that you do want to separate these things. And, business credit is one of those things that's, it's not hard, but it's complex to do all the different steps. And that's why I do want to talk about GetBiz Credit, which is our business credit solution that kind of walks people through every step of setting up business credit. It shows them how to build business credit, phase 1 through 7. We have 7 phases in there. And so for those of you who are listening, go to getbiz.credit. You go right to that website. And what it'll allow you to do, it'll allow you to track your credit journey. So I find that most people, like AJ was saying before, you were saying that you didn't know enough about it, and that's
not nearly enough.
Yeah, and that's common
because most of us, we use our personal credit without the knowledge of business credit to try to gain some business credit, thinking that we're, making a little bit of leeway in the business credit arena.
And the thing that happens is with one of the key things I tell people in the personal credit side, you could have, you don't have to do anything to gain credit. You can pay your bills and get good credit, or not pay your bills and have bad credit. It's just automatic on the personal side. But on the business side, you could have a business that you've had for 5 or 10 years, pay all the bills, pay all your vendors, but if they're not reporting, then you have no credit in the name of your business. So it works completely different. You have to be intentional when it comes to business credit. And that's one of the things we tell people a lot about when it comes to, that's one of the things that GetBiz Credit shows you. So with GetBiz Credit is actually one of the most comprehensive solutions on the market. And I say that because we spend a lot of time developing an entire course, a textbook. So there's a textbook, there's a course, there are videos, there's a dashboard, we have a mobile app. So there's an entire system surrounded to help you to build business credit and kind of guide you along the way, and also give you all of the vendors. So it tells you what you need to do, who you need to do it with, when you need to do it, and help you track that you did it, So that is what GetBiz Credit is all about. And again, you just go to getbiz.credit. So it's very important. And again, I look at, or I explain to people that the GetBiz Credit is much like having a personal trainer. If you want to work out, you want to get in shape, what do? You hire a personal trainer. If you don't have a personal trainer, you can still go to the gym and you're looking at these free weights and you're just like, what am I supposed to do with this stuff? You know what I mean? If you don't know, and you can waste a lot of time. And that's what I find a lot of times people are doing in the business credit room, or they don't know what to do, or they're listening to somebody who's telling them some of the things, half the story, or things that just don't make sense, or giving them halfway in when they've forgotten. And so what I found with most people is what we've been talking about is the foundation, that phase 1. It's the simple things, but it's the foundational things that are super, super important, that you're setting your business up for success. And that's what most people don't do, and they're wondering why they're getting turned down for credit, because the foundation's not set up right. And these are simple things, and a lot of times there's a checklist of about 10 to 12 things you need to do. Most people have done 3 or 4 of them, but if you don't have all of them checked, then it just doesn't really work. So that's kind of how this stuff works. So it's really not just about acquiring credit cards and things like that nature, or loans. It's really about establishing your company's credibility in the financial world, and that's what's important. That's kind of like the step-by-step process that we show. So I don't think a lot of people understand that lenders, banks, and suppliers really are evaluate business credit to determine a company's trustworthiness and the ability to really repay obligations. So it's just good to have a track record or a record of what's going on. So that's basically what we do, and that helps you to drive by financing, better financing options. And let me ask you this: do you, how many business owners do you have you come in contact with in your, even in your long sales career?
Right. It hasn't been that much, but I would say, give or take about 20 to 25 in 32 years of living. I've brushed shoulders with actual business owners.
Well, that's all I do, man. That's all I talk to. That's
Right.
all I deal with. Not all, but mostly. And honestly, I absolutely love. I started the podcast with talking with business owners because I just love the journey and talking to people and what they've done, how they got in. There's so many creative ideas out here, so many creative people doing wonderful things in business. And our job here at GetBiz Credit or with GetBiz Credit is to just help them grow and scale. And it's not really just about credit. And one of the things I've been stressing with you about how GetBiz Credit is and how we operate is more like a business concierge, because it's more than just the business credit. We talked about that a lot. And what do I mean by that? What I mean is that the business credit situation is just like the caveat, but even in that journey, there are things that you need. You need a website, you need to incorporate, you need a business plan, you need a bunch of different things that just help you structure your business along the way. And we're able to help with all of those things, or a lot of those things. And so it's not just about the credit part of it. It's helping you with every step of that journey to make sure your business is successful. But more importantly, that you have the finances that you need to grow your brand. And that's the thing that is one of the number one keys for people going out of business, just not really having. It's really lack of access to capital and really marketing, those two things. So those are two things that GetBiz Credit focuses on, is helping people, giving you those marketing tools, but also mainly starting you off on that credit journey, So
That makes sense.
yeah, marketing and money.
Marketing
Two
and money.
things you need. You need both of those things. It's hard to grow without either one of those things. So if nobody knows who you are, what you're doing, what special product or service you have, then again, it's very hard to get out there. And today is there's so many things vying for people's attention today,
Right.
So it's very important that you have a strong message, branding yourself as something different. So that, like I said, is super, super important. And then definitely having access to capital allows you to have a little bit more money for marketing, for products and services, for delivering those products and services and making sure they're higher quality. So it's a big factor. So one of the things that we try to do is help people to learn the factors that influence their business credit profile. And those are the things that helps position people for actually financial success. So
Right.
I do want to talk about why it matters. And some people may wonder why having a strong credit profile does matter. And it really
Strong
is
business credit profile.
strong business credit profile, not a personal credit profile. But I will say that the personal credit is also important. It's important because it does in the beginning. It comes into play in the beginning, but we kind of show people the vendors that you can use if you don't have any credit at all, the creditors that you can build with starting right from. So if you're out there and you don't have any credit, never even started about business credit, there is a journey and there's steps you do. And we kind of talk about the phases like steps. You do that first phase and then you do the second phase, third phase, and so on. But it can definitely be a game changer for entrepreneurs, giving them access. And it's once you start understanding how to separate your personal and your business finances, it's reduces a lot of liability and really just opens the door for better funding opportunities. So that's one of the things that we stress about doing that. So many financial institutions use credit reports to assess somebody's risk before extending them loans. So if you don't have anything there, you don't have anything that they can find or anything that's being reported, and not every business reports, not every agency reports. And that's what happens a lot of times with the credit. You got to know, again, who to really use to help you build credit, because not everything you do will report. And there's ways to report stuff that is reported that doesn't normally get reported. So it's just kind of knowing or finding someone who can help guide you through that is really important. So
it's an extensive process. Just listening to you, it's a lot.
you know what, it can seem like a lot, and it's just like anything else. It's a process, and if you kind of know and you break it down, and that's the one thing that is really cool about our dashboard, is it has rings, status rings, that as you are doing these things, it's closing to 100%. So you kind of can see every step of the way what percentage of completion you are on
Right.
each phase. So when you kind of have, it's just kind of like if you want to lose 50 pounds, there's things you have to do. You know, you can't just wish it and it happens. It just doesn't happen. Business credit is kind of like that. You just don't say, hey, I want to have good business credit and do nothing and expect it to happen. So there are some steps you take, but the key is having someone guide you through that journey, like having a personal trainer. That's what leads to success. So
Right.
that's what we do at GetBiz Credit, and helping people to do that. And so I don't get a chance to talk a lot about what I do, and that's why this is a great opportunity for me to talk about what I do personally. Other than this podcast, I do. I am a serial entrepreneur. I like I said, I love business. I even, you know, it's funny. I even, I think I shared well, it hasn't aired yet probably, but I was sharing in an episode about kind of how my entrepreneur journey started, and I became an entrepreneur in middle school. You know,
Middle school,
and sometimes a lot of entrepreneurs are born out of a need or a necessity.
For sure.
You know, I needed money, you know, and I remember using my bus fare to buy candy, you know, in middle school, and using that candy to make money, you know. So you buy a couple of pieces of candy, rolls of candy, and honestly, they were probably like, I think they were like 10 cents back then. You know, I could buy 3 rolls of tie. I said, this is crazy. I remember going to middle school, my bus fare was 60 cents, 30 cents each way.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was, I shouldn't really tell people, but it was 30 cents each way. And I would have to spend the 30 cents to get to school, but I would take the other 30 cents, buy, you know, candy, and I would sell it, and I'd have money. I'd make $1.20 for my 30 cents. And if I didn't sell, I had to walk home, you know. I think I walked home once maybe, because I did make it one time, but I just started, you know, parlaying, holding on to that, and that's kind of like was my journey into, you know, business in middle school. Just, you know, wanting to have some money, wanted to have some money in my pocket, some jingle. I wanted to have that 30 cents or 60 cents or $1 or something. It ain't nothing.
I understand
now,
that.
but,
I understand that.
But you know, I didn't have business credit. I didn't have credit with the stores, so I had to pay my money. You know,
Or personal credit.
Yeah, I didn't have personal credit. They didn't know me from Adam. You know what I mean? They just it was some kid just in there trying to buy some candy. So anyway, it's important. You know, so again, one of the things that we try to teach people to do is to just get on the steps, get on those phases. And before you know it, takes like 6 to 12 months. And 6 to 12 months is going to go by. That's it. 6 to 12 months is going to go by anyway. So why not position your company? Right now it's March, end of March going into April, and first quarter has just ended. Why not position yourself to by the third quarter, fourth quarter this year, you're in a position to get $50,000 to $200,000 for your business. And it can happen. That's happening for people every day.
Most people probably take that as a trick question. I assume. Why not get access to $50,000 to $250,000 in 6 to 12 months? Who would turn that down if they're trying to establish some business credibility in the finance world?
No one with their right mind should.
Exactly.
You know, because again, here's the thing. I think people don't understand that the best way to leverage growth is really to use other people's money to build your business. If you're using all of your money all of the time, then you can only grow as much as the money that you have access to.
Right.
But if you can 10, 20, 30x the amount of money you have access to, how much faster can you go? How much faster can you go if you can get access to that much more capital? And here's the big thing. The biggest thing is separating yourself from that. And so business, we all know businesses don't always, not every business is successful. You can say, hey, I want to start a flower shop, a hair shop, barber shop, whatever shop, you know. And it doesn't mean because you want to start a business, you got a good idea, blah, 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 it grows. So the thing about business is you start it, You build up your business credit, and if it doesn't work, you literally could take all those lessons and start something else again. And again, if you're doing it right and building up business credit, it doesn't affect you. I know I'm not telling people to just go start stuff and not do it, or not to be successful. But it's again separating the two things allows you to continue to go and continue to grow. So there's just so many benefits to business credit. And so what I do want to do, again, remind people that if you're watching this and you have any interest at all, you can go to our website to watch the webinar. It's a 7 to 10 minute webinar. It's not very long. And you go to getbiz.credit. So getbiz.credit. That's GetBiz.credit. So go to getbiz.credit, and right on the home screen is watch our webinar. Watch the webinar. And if you have questions, you can call in and talk to a live agent and get the answers that you want answered.
You might get me.
You might get AJ. You might get me. You might get whoever. I don't know who you get, but it's the luck of the draw. But I don't really handle a lot of calls anymore. But you might get me. That might happen. But you might get AJ. And AJ will be glad to help everybody, right? You'd be
for
glad
sure. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Here to help me too.
So So that's the opportunity that's here in for people. And the whole idea is to really help people. I stress that a lot. I love what I do with the podcast and with every business I've ever done. It's about helping people, and I enjoy that thoroughly. And that's what it's all about. And the more people we help, the more people you help, the more it helps you, as you were saying.
Right.
So,
the process.
So
fall in love with the process.
Fall in love with the process.
So the results
AJ
come later.
Help you to help him.
Let me help you. Let me help you. Let me help your business grow. Mm-hmm. Let me elevate your business.
That's what it's all about.
I like that.
So we're just focused on elevating businesses. You said it right there, helping people to strong business credit. I mean, it's important, and it's amazing the things that you can do when you have access to more money.
Right. Because you'd be surprised how many people go a lifetime focusing on building their personal credit so they can get that type of access to capital to put into their business, and they've probably been doing it wrong their whole life, and they still don't know. And the answers are right here. Someone's just giving it to you for you don't even know. It's crazy. I'm glad I'm in this opportunity to learn that and take these same lessons to apply to my life. Because if I don't, I'll be a fool.
Yeah. You know what? Say that again.
If I don't, I'll be a fool.
Yeah. Businesses with no credit have cash flow issues, or can have cash flow issues. And, so being denied credit applications or having to pay higher interest rates, all of that stuff is not necessary. And just imagine being able to walk into a dealership and get a car even for your business and your business name that, you don't personally guarantee. And that's the big thing. I didn't mention that, but one of the big things is to be able to secure assets,
right.
Cars, buildings.
You said a car.
Things. Yeah, you could do a car. Yeah, businesses need transportation. They need to transport things.
True.
The CEO needs to get around and move around. And
it won't affect your personal credit.
Not at all. Not if you set it up the right way. That car's in that business name. Again, it's not affecting your personal credit. It's separating the two things. You can be sitting there driving and not personally guarantee that. You are not liable. If that car, something happens with the car, you just can't even pay it. God forbid if something happens. We don't want that to happen. But again, it's not affecting your personal credit whatsoever. So you can go out there and there's a power in being able to move in the world without having to use your personal credit, even for renting space or everything that a business does.
A whole new world.
Yeah, a whole new world. Vendor supplies. And just think about how much more whatever widgets you have or whatever perfume or product or service you can sell. If you're not using your personal money to buy those services, you're using the money that you have in your businesses.
Yeah, there's like endless possibilities I have in my head right now.
It's just so many, it's super essential for business owners to expand their operations with that. And like I said, if you're spending your own money on inventory to build your business, then you're not doing it the right way. You're doing it the hard way. That is a way, but it doesn't have to be the way you continue to do it. And your business should be taking care of itself. It should be able to run by itself and take care of it should be bringing in money to to do things. But if you're taking out of your own pocket
Mm-hmm.
to fund that business, then you're doing it the wrong way.
It makes sense.
You know?
You remember those 25 business owners I said I met in 32 years? I bet 20 of them are probably doing it that way. If I
25
could,
probably.
just from learning, at least 25.
Right. Statistically,
Man.
75, 85% of the people out there for small businesses do not have business credit. So it's a very important message that we have to get out there for people, to help people. And there's just so many benefits to establishing or separating the two, your personal from your business credit. It's just super advantage. So,
Man, this is the most valuable information I've had in a while.
yeah.
Valuable information. Why would you not want $50,000 to $250,000 in 6 to 12 months to elevate your business if you can just do the steps and someone's helping you, guiding you, the material's there, the information is there. What else? I don't get it. If you don't want that, you'd have to self-sabotage it.
Well, I think a lot of people out there are doing things the hard way, and a lot of it because they don't know another way.
They don't know any better.
Yeah, and so there's the saying that when you know better, you do better. So
And that don't even always work.
well, you know, and it always goes back to who also you're getting knowledge from. That's also important. It's just not about knowing and going out there. And sure, there's a ton of information out there, but why go out there and seek it for yourself when we've already stockpiled everything that you need? Put it in order. So you don't have to figure out what you need to do.
Right.
We already have all of that, what you need to do. Because that's a challenge in and of itself, is figuring out, okay, what do I have to do? Okay, once you've got to go through all of that research and figure out what you have to do, then you got to say, okay, I got all this information.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what can I do this with?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
What do I do with this?
So we have that solved. You don't have to do it. The vendors, all the vendor credits at every tier is in our dashboard. So you just, if you're logged into your membership, you can see tier 1, everybody that you have access to at tier 1, everybody you can build and start with nothing. Again, if you're just starting today, you start with these tier 1 creditors. We have a whole list of them in our application, and you just start with those guys. They'll give you credit if you have never had any business credit whatsoever, and you just pay them for a couple of months, do a couple of transactions with them, and next thing you know, you're ready for those tier 2 creditors. And then again, it's a wash, rinse, and repeat cycle. But again, before you even start with that tier 1 is getting that first phase of foundational things done. And that's where most people get it wrong. They kind of jump the gun. They may start a business. They may do 1 or 2 things, but then they go right into trying to get business credit and understanding or not understanding why they're getting turned down. So that's what we do, is we kind of show you every step. So we don't skip any steps. Our information is set for anybody for however you like to learn. So we do have, when you log into this membership, we do have, obviously there's a textbook, but we do have courses. So some people like to watch videos, so we have videos for every lesson. Some people like to kind of get on, do a workout or do something else. So we have MP3s on there, so you can just listen to the information while you're doing other things.
There's no excuse
just have it go
to
in the
not get the
background.
information.
This is no excuse, none whatsoever. So if you're a reader, if you're Audible, you know, we got the MP3s you can listen to. If you're a visual person, you can watch a video. If you're one of those people that want to just read, I got to read it, I got to see it, you could do that. And then some people are tactile. They want to be able to touch something. They want to flip through a book. So we have that textbook as well. So really, any way that you want to learn or you want information, GetBiz Credit is the system for that. It's very simple. We do have affordable levels. So it starts at a $97 basic membership. Now, in all honesty, basic membership doesn't give you anything. It's basic, but it gives you that first phase. It gives you that starting things that are super, super important if you're starting out. So that building block is super important. That's why we kind of start people there. So if you want to just kind of get started at that level, you're welcome to kind of look around and see how that phase 1 does.
Peek your head in the door.
Peek your head in the door.
Going on.
Yeah, get that foundational step done. And then once you're done with that, then you go to our gold level. Our gold level is $597 right now. We got that on sales at half price. So you can get into that gold level, and that takes you through the first 3 phases. You know, it gets you those tier 1, actually even gets you into tier 2 credits. So it starts you with that phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and phase 4. So almost halfway through the process. It just doesn't get you all the way there with the big loans where you're getting the loans, but it does get you to the point where you're getting some of those credit cards. And then, or the credit vendor accounts there. And then we have our platinum, which is what we sell the most of, and that's what most people come on board because it gives you the entire system. The entire system, again, we show you how to do it for yourself. It's $9.97 right now. It's half price. It's normally $19.97. So right now, if you listen to this, make sure you jump right on it. We don't know how long we're going to keep it at that level because it's such an amazing value at $9.97. But when you get that, just the entire program, starting you off at phase 1, then you get to phase 2. It takes you through those tier 1, tier 2 creditors, and then all of a sudden you're getting into those higher levels when you're kind of going 6 to 7 months in. Now you're getting loans for $100,000, $250,000. So it takes you to that high level. And the last level we have is we call our VIP premiums level. And that's where we kind of do everything for a person. So we just kind of do it all. We'll set up everything for you, set up all your accounts, make sure that you get everything set up, and you just have a dashboard where you can watch everything happening. You watch the levels close and watching us build your credit for you. Again, that is a little bit more. Right now we got that at half price at $99.97. That's almost $10,000, but it's worth it. If $10,000 leads you to $250,000 in 6 to 12 months, would you do that?
I would do it every trip, every day, and every hour. And
especially if you didn't have to do any of the work with it. We set everything up for you. We do have some good terms. So again, it's an investment in your business. So you don't look at it as creating debt. It's an investment.
It's not a cost. It's an investment.
It is. It's an investment. And if you don't, or if you're not willing to invest in your business, how can you expect your business to pay you dividends? You have to be able to put something into it. And what you're doing is you're kind of giving yourself that playing field to where you have access to more capital. More money allows you to do more things, And so it's just that simple. Access is important. And so that's basically what we do is we give people access. And with that premium,
we give people access. I love that.
That's it.
Here at GetBiz Credit, we give people access.
There you go. That's probably going to be our new tagline slogan.
That's smooth. Because who has access? It's not today.
Yeah. So it's needed, There's a super important aspect that is needed. And again, we just break down the complexities of it, and there's just different levels. So there's no reason why, if you're a business owner, you can't get involved at one of those levels. I mean,
there's no excuse.
There's just no
even with the basic membership, like you said, if you just wanted to just peek your head in, who's to tell you where that's going to lead you? Who's to tell where that's going to lead you? Just from peeking your head in the door and learning just this much information, it's like, why not get more? Why not? I don't understand it. I'm mad I didn't learn about this sooner.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And a lot of it is just because either people, again, it's just you have to really be around people who are willing to share what they did to build credit. Having access to capital or to more money is a super important thing. It's a game changer is all I can say. It just changes your ability. And money's not everything. It just isn't. But
access is.
But try not having it. And
that ain't nothing. That ain't nothing.
So not having it is better than not having it. And what I tell people all the time is just gives you options and choices. That's what money's all about. So it's not about again, if you have $10,000 of your own money in your account, and you've got to take care of your personal stuff on top of the professional stuff. So if you're leveraging all the money you have saved, $10,000, $20,000 in the bank, and all of it's going to, running your household or your business, I mean, you can do it and not risk your personal finances. And that is what is that worth? I ask, what is that worth? What is that peace of mind worth that these things are separated in a way that that liability is not coming back on you personally, your family. So those of you who have family who maybe are not in your business, you don't want to risk the whole family savings, on your dream or the thing that you're building. You want to be able to kind of have those things separated.
Some valuable information you're spitting out right now. So get out there, go to GetBiz.credit, go there right now. And get your access.
That's it.
GetBiz.credit, where we give people access.
If you have some questions or if you want to just call us, you can call us at 877-777-0671. That's a lot of sevens. I'll say it again. 877-777-0671 is the number to call. GetBiz.credit. Have your questions answered. talk to us. You might get, like I said, you might get AJ, you
Right.
might get me. You'll get one of our other salespeople.
Mind your business.
And,
That's all. Just mind your business.
Yes, and this is about minding your business, helping you to keep your mind on your business.
Amen.
And not on that checkbook or your personal finances.
Right.
That's the whole idea.
Because it's business. It's not personal anymore. It's business.
It's not. And it shouldn't be personal. But
business always wins.
Yeah, it should. It doesn't always, but it should. And it's just about doing the right things. So again, come visit us at GetBiz.Credit and start your journey onto financial success, financial independence. And you owe it to yourself. You owe it to your family to separate those two things, build what you can build, and do it with other people's money. That's the best way to do it.
You can even do that personally.
What's that?
Use other people's money personally. No, I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you.
You could,
but business.
Yeah. So I just want to leave it right there. And again, what I will say, if you're interested, if you just want to learn more, go to getbiz.credit. There's a link right there. It says watch our free webinar. Webinar's free. You can watch it. Doesn't cost you anything for that.
Free.
Like I said, you can call and get some your answers or your questions answered by calling the 877-777-0671. And so many sevens because the 7 is a lucky number. So you call, get Biz Credit, you'll get lucky. All right. That's all I got. Anyway, this is Max Fortune. Continue to tune in to Mind Your Business. Tune in, lock in to Get Biz Credit. Tune in. What we are going to try to do is, AJ, I'm going to invite you back, to just kind of talk about your journey also through this process and the people you've helped, the people you're helping, the people you're working with. And we're just going to share some of these things with the people out here and just so they can kind of see how this is helping many, many people out there and helping them to get a chance at growing their business at a time that it's important to grow business. If you've never thought about starting a business ever before, you're looking around, look out in the world, and look at how crazy things can be.
Listen to this.
Look at how crazy things are and just say, I could stabilize my life and my family's life a little bit more by getting myself. It's time. It's time to get in there. I'm going to invest in myself. Invest in yourself. Believe in yourself. And again,
mind your business.
There you go. Mind your business. Keep your mind on your business. Until next time, we'll see you. Again, join us. We have to have a Facebook page that we're going to do, so you can go to facebook.com or join the group there. Or again, just continue to tune in to the Mind Your Business podcast wherever you get podcasts at Mind Your Biz Expert. So you can go to YouTube. Please like, follow, and subscribe. If any of this information has been good, if you learned one thing today, again, like, follow, and subscribe to Mind Your Biz Expert. Go to YouTube. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, a lot of different places. So that's all I have. Have a great evening, everyone, or morning, or whatever time it is you're listening to this thing. AJ, listen, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for inviting me.
Like I said, I feel very confident when I met that it's a sharp guy. I really do want to make sure that you have all the success that you are owed in this world. And like I said, I'm here for it, man. I'm here to show you the ropes, show you what I've done. I'll show you the path that I've taken, and I'm sure you're going to just light it up.
I'm excited for the whole process. Like I said, I'm falling in love with the journey and the process, so the results can come later.
As they will.
As they will.
All right.
Let's get it. Stay
tuned. Let's get it. Stay tuned.
GetBiz.Credit.
That's it. All right, everybody. Have a great one.